Hey everybody, Attorney Walter Knott. I wanted to go ahead and catch up with you and go into something right away. We're not going to go ahead and hold back. I wanted to first apologize for this terribly ugly shirt. I did not realize how ugly it was until I put my body into it. Obviously a poor eBay purchase. Nonetheless, here it is in all its glory. Also, I need everybody to go ahead if you can and stand up. Okay, yes. So we're going to go ahead and stand up because this is a big moment in history where we're going to be seeing some big changes. Howdy Garden when it comes to one of the main programs. But if you stood up and you are a retired person, I'm going to need you to sit back down just a little bit, just there you go. SSDI people, just a little bit more. I just need you to sit down a little bit more. Perfect. SSDI people, I need you to just kind of hang in there for a moment. SSI people, this is your moment. It's almost your moment. We're seeing how things are going. I'm starting to get excited. I now see what the big plan is. I now see how things are unraveling. I'm really happy. They're going in the right direction. Well-played chess pieces are going on. All right, let's talk about it. As you guys know, SSI Restoration Act is being pushed heavily in the House and heavily in the Senate. What is it? It's a change to SSI that's being sold as restoring many aspects of it to what it should be, how to continue to increase in the amount of benefits it should have from 1972 forward to the current day. Increase in the larger limited amounts that you can have, right? So instead of 2,000, you can have 10,000. It's basically bringing us into the modern day to create a system that protects the poverty-based, disabled, and the elderly over 65. And that's the promise that the program was created with under Nixon. And the whole point of it was to go ahead and make sure that there was a safety net for people who could not work. That is the beautiful thing about SSI. It is a safety net for people who really cannot work. And then, of course, the elderly 65 and above. Now, I know that I told everybody if you could go ahead and stand up, and then I had to say to the retired people, maybe not yet, maybe not yet. And then the SSDI people, maybe not yet, maybe not yet. But SSI people, stand strong, stand tall, and here's why. Okay. The bottom line here, howdy everybody. Yes, I am taking callers. I did miss, literally the phone has been ringing for the past 15 minutes. I know. I wanted to let you know that we started as per the usual, directly on time at around 8:23, 8:24, even though it's supposed to start at 8. I understand that. I am so glad that you guys are very understanding of it as well. All right, let's go through this. So I didn't know what was going on. There have been people much higher up in the system than me who have been basically changing things, modifying things, getting things rolling. The first thing they had to do was get a new commissioner out of the Social Security Administration in to be able to effectuate some of these changes that the Democrat Party wanted to do, right? They got Kijikazi and Commissioner Kijikazi. And by the way, an awesome website, awesome nonprofit, if you guys ever check it out, and I do see you guys calling right now, I will get to you in a little bit. One of the things that you need to know is this. Go check out, I think it's nasi.org. It's a nonprofit, and their whole thing is basically giving awards and writing articles and presenting arguments in favor of Social Security benefits or insurance-based benefits. And it's incredible. They're a really great group. Go check them out. So I started to go through a lot of their articles. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. Here's the thing. They have the Robert M. Ball Award coming up, which is where they're going to go ahead and host two main people as winners of it. Commissioner Kijikazi is one of them. So now that we have Commissioner Kijikazi, what does this mean? Well, step one of the plan is going on. We now have Commissioner Kijikazi, and now we have this whole thing called the Reconciliation Bill, which we all know is the $3.5 trillion bill, and then there's the $1 trillion bill on top of that. You combine them together, you get $4.5 trillion. However, the thing that's important for us is that basically the Senator, Sherrod Brown, would like to go ahead and insert the SSI Restoration Act into the $3.5 trillion deal. Now, with that said, will the $3.5 trillion deal have enough money to go ahead and push forward this whole SSI Restoration Act? Yes, it will. Now, I know a lot of you guys, and I just want to address it up front, are going to be cranky with me, very cranky with me, about essentially what's going on with the whole SSDI situation, why they're being left out. They're the ones who paid into the system. Same with the retirement people. Why aren't they looking at getting an increase? I get it. But let me be very clear why this is happening. SSDI and SSI, or SSDI and retirement, cannot fit into the reconciliation bill. There's a lot of reasons. but the bottom line is they can't fit into it. So that means the Democrats' superpower right now to pass things without the Republicans, they can't use that power to pass things for SSDI, to pass things for retirement. The only one that they can out of the main biggie programs would be SSI. And so basically, Sherrod Brown, Senator, is trying to push and enable at least the entire act or parts of it into the $3.5 trillion bill. Now, with that said, I want you guys to understand there's politics. Okay, so what we originally started with in this country were people fighting for the civil rights of the American people. And then somewhere throughout history, in the history of America, we ended up with politicians, which is playing the chess game instead of working to better the lives of the people. Now we have all politicians with an agenda pushing a thing. So here's the bottom line. If the SSI Restoration Act is successful, it may not be successful in its entirety, right? So it may not go ahead and get all the different provisions that it includes. Some of those provisions are, number one, increasing the SSI amount per month up to the 100% poverty line. It's around $1,073, right? They're at 75% right now. They're trying to boost it up to 100%. So $794 up to $1,073.33. The next thing is that they want to go ahead and increase the amount of other types of benefits that people can receive without it hurting their SSI benefits. So what that means is that they're trying to find a way for people to be able to get auxiliary benefits without it hurting the SSI benefits that they're already receiving. I know a lot of people were asking about that. It's written into the bill, etc. The next thing is that people are going to be able to earn a bit more, earn up to $416. And the point is, without accounting, normally you'd only get 20 plus 65, totaling $85, where it wouldn't count against you if you to work and earn per month. They're trying to push it up to $416. Next thing is that they're trying to get rid of the in-kind support maintenance / 1/3 reduction rule. Cool. That's probably the rule that should be gone first. Next one, they're trying to increase the amount that people can have in storage, right, in their bank account from $2,000 for a single person, $3,000 for a married person, to $10,000 for a single person and $20,000 respectively. I still don't think that that's the right amount. I think it should be 15 and maybe 30. And the reason why is that in order for you to basically go on SSI, a lot of people have to spend down their existence, their life's achievements to get to these smaller amounts. I think 15 and 30 would be more appropriate considering the devaluation of the dollar. All right, next one we got. Repeal the transfer penalty, which unfairly penalizes people with up to 3 years of ineligibility if they transfer a resource, right? That doesn't make sense. That's not fair. That's just another thing in the bubble to try and restrict people on SSI. Repeal a rule regarding separate dedicated accounts for children receiving SSI, which made it more difficult for guardians and parents to access money needed for their child's care, right? A lot of you know about that if you're in that, whether you have kids, etc. But the whole thing is they're looking at what is the relationship as a payee, what is the relationship as a parent, what is the relationship financially that they share with the child, how do they do their accounting, etc. All right, another one is basically eliminate installment payments requirements that the SSI recipients who have been waiting for months or even years to obtain the benefits are not forced to wait even longer to receive the full overdue amount. So what that means, and they didn't write in the thing there, but what that means is that when you get your back pay, they split it up into 3 if you're getting the bigger back pay. You get 3 months worth of back pay, then you got to wait 6 months. Then you get 3 months more worth of back pay, then you got to wait 6 months. And then you get the last final remaining amount of your back pay. And then at that point, basically, you are essentially you've received all of the back pay that you can. They want to get rid of that 6 month wait period. They want to get rid of this whole 3 months worth of back pay. And, the theory behind it was that they didn't want people to just blow through it, right? Let's call it like it is. Their thought process. There are other reasons too, but an SSI person, there's a lot of SSI individuals who don't have a lot of financial training, who don't have a lot of education, who might have a smoking habit, a drinking habit, of this or that. And for some of those, that was an issue. And this was a way to go ahead and restrict and make sure that they could utilize it. Then they came out with their emergency release allowance rule, which allowed you to get an emergency release so long as you could show that there was something that you needed to buy a home, to buy a plot of land, to buy an RV, to buy a car, whatever, to go ahead and pull the rest of those funds out. And then, yes, that was good. That was a very good thing because it allowed people to access those. There's other things as well that this act includes, but like I said, we're trying to keep this simple and keep rolling forward. Now, with all of that going on, I want to just make something very clear to all of you guys. The Social Security administration is going to need time, if it does get put in place, to roll it out. Remember when they had the situation where they had to go ahead and get a list ready to send to the IRS to get people on SSI an extra check, and it took time and everybody was angry. It's going to take that administration, I think it is the largest administration of all of our agencies, right? A little bit of time. So the moment you hear 1,073 has passed, don't expect it as your next check. Expect it as your, 2 checks down the line, 3 checks down the line, etc. You have to give them time to get it set up. And remember, the big thing here is this. You want 2 main ones passed. In-kind support maintenance rule to be abolished, and the increase, the 1073. Because if you don't get rid of the in-kind support maintenance rule, they'll find a way to reduce by 1/3 if somebody's helping you of that 1073. You need those 2, okay? Those 2. I would say the other ones that are really important would be the 10,000, 20,000 savings account options, things like that. That would probably be the next one on the list. All right, so with that said, guys, we've now gone through that. If you have any questions, I'm going to give you guys a total of 3 minutes to throw your questions in the chat area. And then after that 3 minutes, so we're at 8:35 right now, we're going to go ahead and go straight into the phone calls because literally the phone has been ringing the whole time. So hold on, guys. You have essentially 3 minutes to ask me your questions in the chat area before we go to the phone calls. And then when we go to the phone calls, that is the phone number right there that you can use to give me a call. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check this out. What are the questions? I get SSI 237, Social Security 575. How does that work out for me? Nobody knows. You get what's called a hybrid allowance. And a hybrid allowance is basically where you're getting a little bit over 700 into the 800 territory because your SSDI benefits were not enough to be competitive and at the same rate of the SSI 794. So what they do is they give somebody basically some SSI with their SSDI benefits to go ahead and get them higher. So you'll probably go ahead and just have to choose SSI as a 1073. And then at that point, you'll probably not get SSDI anymore, but nobody knows. They could do it many ways. And I know what your whole thing is. How do I keep my Medicare? And I get that. All right. Next question. Are they going to raise for SSI? Yes, very likely it'll be raised from 794 maximum to 1073. Okay, how long before that could potentially pass? So they want to push it into the reconciliation bill. Everybody is arguing different things online. Me, wearing this terribly ugly shirt, I would say it's going to happen right around Christmas. And here's why. So when Trump was in office, what would happen is he passed basically a stimulus check. I think it was in like March, and then he passed another one in December. Right, so we had our $1,400 stimulus check through Biden. December's coming up. That'll be his second stimulus check, okay? And what will happen at that point is people will be happy going into the holiday season. They'll be able to buy things for their kids. That's important going into the new year with the 2022 election process going on, which means that if they can get a lot of money into the hands of the people, and by that, still a small amount of money, they will be happier going into the voting season. All right, next one. I'm late. What's the news? I just went through it. I'm on disability only $515 per month. What does that mean for those of us on disability? So are you on SSDI benefits? If you're only on SSDI benefits, you can always get and try to get a hybrid allowance for SSI. Just make sure you're under that $2,000 income limit, $1,500 insurance policy, yada, yada, yada. Make sure you're within the poverty requirements of SSI, and you can usually get a boost through a hybrid program. Okay, what are your odds, in your opinion, of SSDI getting increased too? They're not good. Nanny Anderson, they're not good. And here's why. This phone is literally throwing me off. Here's why. The reason why is that the Democrats cannot just push legislation through on SSDI benefits because they can't fit it into a reconciliation bill. And I don't think the Republicans are going to play ball with them on anything, because anything good that happens right now in the sense of giving things to the people, the Democrats are going to get all of the fanfare and the excitement and the wow effect and all of that. And the Republicans don't want that. Once again, all the people in politics are politicians. They're not civil rights leaders. That's what we had when we formed this country. They evolved into being politicians. Okay. Okay, next one. Sorry, there's a bunch here. Do you think they will abandon the $3.5 trillion bill to use reconciliation for the debt ceiling? So here's the deal. Yes, the government is running out of money likely in October. Yes, they're going to have to raise the debt ceiling. Yes, this is horrible for the American people. No, people aren't going to do anything about it because they still want the government to continue to run. No, if they shut down, they will not stop your benefits. They just do a skeleton version of the government. They cut off people's access to certain things, and they process and they do whatever they can. Okay, so if you want to file something right now, file it this month. Okay, guys, we're going to do one more question. Walter, can HUD do a background check? Do a background check on an aid for weekend? I'm not sure what that means. Garden, just catch up with me later. You've been a long-standing watcher. Just catch up with me later. Shoot me an email. We'll go through it. So can you get SSI or have SSDI since 06? You should be able to. Let's see. Thank you for answering my question. Walter, can do a background check for aid on weekends? I'm still not even sure. I'm still not sure what that. Garden, send me a quick email. The email is this. That way I kind of know what's going on with your fact pattern. Let me put it in there real quick. That's the email. Garden, just send me an email on that. Take my raise, I'll be back where I was. No, Mary. The whole point is they're trying to build the SSI Restoration Act where it's not going to affect your housing, your health insurance, your etc. All right, guys, we are now going to the phone calls right now. Here we go. We are going live. We are live right now on YouTube. My name is Attorney Walter Knott. Make sure you mute the computer. That way it doesn't get that feedback effect. And also remember to use a fake name. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to go ahead and run hearing questions with you? Go ahead. Oh, hold on. We got a thingy here. Hold on. Wait a second. We got to do this. We got to do that. Oh, try it again. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Good, sir. Go ahead. We can go ahead, and it keeps kicking me off of the speakerphone option. Man, I hate this Nextiva app, but we should be good now. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Can you run me some heavy questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So good, sir. Remember to use your fake name. I'm going to beat you up a little bit. Now, are you a trained person? Like, have you been watching the hearing questions online to go through like the trick questions and such, or are you kind of new to this?
I'm kind of new to this, but I definitely watch a lot of your videos, and I'm also new to the filing. But I like to, just run some questions.
Okay, gotcha. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask people to, if you're calling in right now, just hold off because it keeps kicking my phone off the speaker option. So with that said, and all right. So good sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to have to keep clicking you onto the speaker option here to keep the phone from doing this. But all right, good sir, let's go ahead and run through these questions. I'm going to do them kind of as they would in the hearing to give you kind of a realistic fact. Remember, use a fake name. So when I start this, use a fake name. Good sir, go ahead and state your full fake name for the
Robert Sanchez.
Excellent. Can you tell me date of birth? What is your highest level of education completed?
January 1st, 1968. 9th grade, GED.
Okay, excellent. So you completed the GED. Walk me through, what is your current age today?
53.
Excellent, good sir. Can you tell me, what are your top 5 most severe disabling conditions?
PTSD. I also have degrading disc disease or degrading disc disease, which is my lumbar spine.
Mm-hmm.
I have migraines from my panic attacks that causes my migraines.
Mm-hmm.
I also had a sleep study and was diagnosed with OSA.
Okay.
I do have hypertension, high blood pressure, tinnitus.
Mm-hmm.
I have stomach issues,
Okay.
such as, I don't know if you want to go into detail, but diarrhea and constipation.
Sure. What about incontinence?
Incontinence, what does that mean?
You can't control when you have to go to the bathroom, stuff like that.
Yes, because I'm currently on a lot of medications, so they do have a lot of side effects.
Okay, excellent. Good, sir. Walk me through this. When it comes to the most severe mental impairment, which is the most severe mental impairment?
PTSD,
Which
and
is
it's combat.
okay. Now you are VA. When did you get out of the military?
1997.
Okay. Help me out with this. What is your most severe physical impairment?
My lower back pain.
Okay, understood. Degenerative disc disease. Okay. All right. Now, good sir, out of the PTSD and the degenerative disc disease, can you tell me which is the most severe?
I would say the PTSD because I get a lot of anxiety.
Okay.
I'm depressed a lot.
Mhm.
I have nightmares. I don't sleep well, and flashbacks.
Okay, understood. Can you help me out with this and just be straightforward with me? What were the ratings that were given to you from the VA for these impairments?
Right now, I'm at 30%. I only filed 2 years ago because I did not know that I have PTSD until I went to a doctor.
Okay, gotcha. Now, help me out with this. Have you also filed for VA benefits?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Now, walk me through and I want to fully understand this. When was the last time that you stopped working?
This year, April.
Okay, and can you tell me about that real quick? In April, what happened?
I was working for the post office and as a mail carrier, and I thought I would just deliver mail, but we all know they deliver packages, heavy packages, and basically I could not. I was not able to go in and out of the truck. Every time I had to stop to deliver packages, some packages were heavy. So it would always cause my back pain after working 8 to 10 hours as a mail carrier. I would just go home, take a shower, shut down because I was in so much pain, and and that also increased my anxiety because I had supervisors that were stressing me, saying, why are you taking so long to do the route? So it was a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So walk me through this. Help me out. And I want to fully understand this. You had to stop working at the job mostly because of the physical aspects of lifting things, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What were the
and also,
yeah.
And also the anxiety, just able to be, even to be around people, the customers, people that, that would ask me questions and that would give me, basically I'll be, I was answering them, just, I didn't want to answer them because it's all that stuff. I was anxious and sometimes I even get panic attacks.
Okay. So you get panic attacks. Were you interacting with the public often?
Yes.
Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah,
didn't you get along with them? Yeah.
No, I didn't get along with them. I did it for the job, but then I realized that I needed to, basically not do that anymore.
Okay. And help me out with this. So you were having difficulty with lifting boxes. You're having a difficult time interacting with people. Why couldn't you do a job where you weren't really interacting with people and didn't have to lift heavy things? Something like, for example, a security job late at night where you're just walking from place to place, keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, I can't walk. I can't walk but the block without stopping, resting. I currently have a cane that I use. And after basically standing, I can't stand no more than 20 minutes. And when I sit down, I'm constantly repositioning my position. And there's some days where I just don't get out of bed.
Okay. So this sounds like it was all very sudden. How long did you work for this facility or this job that you were, doing the box lifting and things like that?
For 21 years.
Okay. All right. So you're working for 21 years with this other group, and you had a difficult time. Now you're not able to get out of bed. Well, how many days a week do you usually stay in bed?
3 to 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I'm on certain medications like trazodone, sertraline, and that basically knocks me out. Prazosine, Prazvosin.
Okay. So can you help me out with this? When did each one of these impairments start? And when did they become severe? I'm going to remind you real quick: PTSD, headaches, degenerative disc disease, hypertension, sleep study, and diarrhea/incontinence.
Well, since I didn't know I had PTSD, I mean, I was in Desert Storm in '91. I seen some Iraqi soldiers. They were, obviously they were deceased, they were burned. So, until I went to go see a doctor is when explained the situation, because I had a failed marriage. I have 2 kids that they don't speak to me on a. I don't know if they want anything to do with me. I have relationships after my divorce, failed relationships.
Okay, understood. So let me understand this a little bit better. All right, now let's try that one again real quick, because here's the bottom line. I'm looking for dates on this one. When did each one of those become severe? Or when did each one of those start, and when did each one of those become severe? So hit me with the PTSD one. When did that start, and when did it become severe? That should be easier. You know when the incident happened in the VA. You know when you started to have problems interacting with people.
February with the PTSD was February 1991.
Mm-hmm. Right. And when? Okay, now walk me through the timeline. What happened? Oh, you there? Did I lose you? Oh, hold on. See, this is the phone problem I'm talking about with Nextiva. Hold on. Oh, I think I lost you in total. Wow, this phone. All right, give me a call right back so we can get rolling. Hold on real quick. Let me get back to you. There you go. There you go. And call. Voice call. And here we go. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, let me get this back up here. Can you hear me, good sir? Oh, it says it's on hold. I'm now putting it off hold. 1 second. And the phone is locked up. There we go. Okay, perfect. Good sir, can you hear me okay? Hello, hello. Oh, Nextiva. Nextiva. What are you doing to me? All right, hold on, guys. We're having technical difficulties. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to call this gentleman right back. Let me just call through to him, and then we should be good to go. I'm going to put him on speakerphone. Let me just get this rolling. Boom. There he is. Cool. Oh, Nextiva. All right, guys. Let me just call him back real quick. Everybody's trying to call in right now. All right, let's see what's going on real quick, if I can get this thing going. You know what? So here's the thing, guys. The phone keeps flickering. The Nextiva app keeps dying on me. And basically, let's see. Yeah, Car Chesney, you're actually throwing me off with all the anti-yada comments. So just, I got to remove that for a moment. All right, there we go. All right, every time I seem to go answer the phone, it cuts out. So let me go ahead and call him real quick and see if I can get through. Let me see if we can get this going real quick, and then we should be good from there. Let's see. Okay, good. And I'm going to hit accept. Here we go. And it just kills the thing. Oh, I got to restart the app. So, oh, wait, maybe I have it here. Can you hear me, good sir? Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. So I got to get rid of this app. So I was using Nextiva, which is like a, digital phone system situation. And it's terrible. All right, so hold on real quick. Let me see if I can get him. Can you hear me now? At all? Anything at all? This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. All right, guys, so here's the deal. I have to end this application, restart it, and then basically log back into it. So give me 1 second, then we'll get rolling again. I'm sorry for this. It is the phone system I have. I'm getting off of this phone system, and then I'll be able to start with other things. For everybody else that keeps calling in, just hang out for a second. Let me finish the thing with him, and then we'll get back. We'll get to you. I'm not going anywhere until 10 o'clock, so you're fine.
Please leave your message for 5-7.
No. And then finally works. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, good sir. Can you hear me?
4-1.
What? It's a total phone failure, guys. I'm so sorry. Everything is just not working on this phone. It's just a total. And now Shadow's coming over to see how I'm doing. And everybody keeps calling the phone, so it just keeps flickering on and off. Let me see if I can get him on the phone one more time. Otherwise, we'll just try something else real quick. Good sir, can you hear me okay? See, he's showing up on the phone. Like, I can't show you because it has his phone number on it, but can you hear me okay? Nextiva, you just put me through it. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to text that person a different phone number so that he can call me on that. Give me one moment, guys. Let me get this going on while Shadow tries to crawl up. Dude, this is not a good. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can get him text the phone number to call. So if you're out there, the person that has been calling me that we were on the phone with, I'm right now going to add you to the contacts. And now I'm going to go over here to the text messages. And I'm going to go ahead and send you another phone number that you can use to go ahead and call me back. So use this other phone number to call me because this is a phone number that does not use Nextiva. Here we go. So, all right, I've just texted you another phone number. We're going to go ahead and basically get this rolling. My apologies, guys, for the technology problems. I am switching off of Nextiva. I'm so sorry. Here we go. I just texted him a new phone number. Let's see if this works out real quick. Hi, this is Walter Knott, Attorney Walter Knott. How can I help you? Okay, perfect, good sir. Were you the gentleman I was just talking to on the phone while we were live on YouTube? Excellent. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put you on the speakerphone real quick. Okay, good sir. So let's continue real quick. Let's run that question again. PTSD, when did it start and when did it become severe?
February 1991.
Okay, excellent.
And, when I first had my appointment with the VA back in May of 2019.
Okay, so back in 2019. Now, help me out here. When did you file for disability benefits?
July of this year.
Okay, and all right, so you just started out. You're going through the process. It's taken a little while. Can you tell me this? Have you already gone to your medical appointment for the CE doctor, the consultative examination?
No. The only thing I submitted is just a regular application. And can I say something? I don't know if it's, but I hired you as my law firm.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So I can. Well, I can't. So here's the thing.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, here's the thing. So I'm then if I know. So then the name on the thing. All right. So if I link that to an account, I have to be careful because I can't say anything that's similar to your account because then it's a violation of attorney-client privilege. So let's let's do this. Since I'm worried about saying something that I know about your account, let's do this. I'll call you back tomorrow or the next day, and we'll run questions just like this. But we shouldn't do it now because I could potentially remember something from your claim and then go into it, and then it would violate attorney-client privilege.
Oh, sorry about that. Wasn't the way I just.
No worries.
But, I just, like I said, the thing is just trying to get a head start, and I'm doing the right things as far as getting my medical records to you guys, and so just wanted to. I didn't think I was going to get on, to be honest, but definitely, I've been looking at a lot of your videos and learning some good stuff.
Well, very good, sir. I'll catch you over the next couple of days. Give me a call tomorrow. We'll run hearing questions, and we'll catch up from there. But either way, I'll catch you a little bit later. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, good sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is, and that's a protection thing to protect him, because if I remember something, we're getting another call in real quick. Let me see if I can go ahead and get this thing. Okay. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Knott. Can you hear me? Hi, this is Attorney Walter Knott. Can you hear me? Hello. Let me see what we got going on here. So the thing is, I use this app, and this app is failing me right now. So let me see if I can go ahead and go to who's calling me, etc. And then we can go from there. Here we go. I'm going to call back this person real quick. Let's see if I can get a hold of this person. Let's see if I can do this. All right. So, and yeah, guys, that's basically to protect that person, because I will at some point remember something from his claim, and then I'll start to run through that stuff, and then it will violate attorney-client privilege with him on the phone. But let me see if I can get another person on the line here real quick. I don't know what is going on with this app, but we're going to be changing in a week. So that's the good thing. But unfortunately, we're kind of stuck with them right now. Let's see. Hold and accept. Let's see what we got here. All right, so it looks like it's working, and then because there were so many people calling in, it knocked it off the line. All right, so guys, let me just call you back, because there's so many people calling in that the phone keeps going in and off, in and out, in and out, in and out, and I can't actually, every time I hit the answer button, it just switches off. So let's do this. What is going on? So, yeah, so I'm glad Cheyenne's here. Your name was not being thrown around, and I will catch up with you later, because this is definitely not the time or period to talk about this stuff. So let me go ahead and get a call going right now, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's see what's going on. So guys, let me, so everybody just stop calling in, because I'm going to call back the people on here, because the phone system is overloaded. Like, it's literally, there's, in a 30-second period, there's over 30 people. So let me just call you guys, and then, you know, I see who called in. We're going to be here until 10. We should be fine, and then we can go through there. All right, so just give me 1 second. All right, guys, I'm not going to actually be able to answer phone calls. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to text a person on here to go ahead and call me back. And on that phone number, on my special side phone number, and then we'll go from there. So give me 1 second. This one is going to somebody whose phone that starts with 817, okay? So we're going to do that. Somebody that's phone that starts with 817. Here we go. Give me 1 sec. Okay. All right, I'm just going to have to X out of everybody that keeps trying to call in, because I can't actually get people on the phone because the phone system's overloaded. So just give me 1 second, and I'll get this rolling. Hold on. There's that one. Add that one. Contact added. Cool. Added. Give me 1 second, guys, because you keep calling in. I can't call anybody because it's unfortunately overloaded. So here we go. I'm going to be texting somebody a 908 phone number, and that's the person that I need to call in next. Okay, that's the person I need to call in next, and then we can go ahead and take the next caller. Okay, so let me see real quick. One moment, and here we go. Guys, you keep calling in, and I literally can't pick it up because so many people are calling. All right, so here's the thing. We will need to find some other way to do this, because I can't even text somebody because that's how many people are calling in right now. And okay, perfect. We're going to get closer to it. Yeah, hey guys, so literally, okay, so the person who called in, all right. Here we go. I'm going to try calling this person real quick, see if I can get through. I'll answer this call real quick, see if I can get this person on the phone. No, it just keeps kicking it off. Like, literally, guys, I'm seeing at a phone that's just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. If you guys could just not call for a second, I'll call you, and then we'll be okay, because there's already been like 15 people who have called in that I can't get to everybody. So I just need everybody just hold on, and then I can go ahead and talk. Okay, so the person that I texted with a phone number, call that phone number, because that's a separate phone number. That's not relying on any of these digital apps. Okay, cool. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Knott. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name as we go through this process. We're going to go live right now. And would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to go ahead and basically run hearing questions with you? Go ahead.
I have a specific. My name is Lisa.
Perfect.
Yes, my son has been on disability for like 10 years.
Okay.
And he had a payee person, and the payee person did not do the paperwork or wouldn't answer the phone when Social Security was calling them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they cut his check off.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is, there wasn't, it looks like, to do all the paperwork and everything all over again. He just got out of the hospital after being in there for 45 days with bad pneumonia. They didn't think he was going to make it, and he really needs his check. Is there any way that we could go around without having to go through all that all over again?
Okay, so real quick, they were calling. He didn't pick up. They cut off his check. Now they want him to file again. So here's So here's the problem. He probably, went past the yield sign, went past the stop sign, got to the here comes the cliff sign. So, and one of the problems is that there are rules regulating how much time that can pass before they have to look at a new filing. And they have an expedited, quick little way of reinstating benefits. But what did they say over the phone? Because that'll tell me specifically what they're trying to enact.
Getting a hold of people over the phone is really hard, especially when you're in, have a big main office and Corona's going on. And because of Corona, he didn't even know that anything was going on because he was still getting his check. They were his payee person, and his payee person didn't tell him until they cut it off that he wasn't doing anything. And so when I called, they just said, well, start over. I'll send you the paperwork. And I waited like 3 weeks and never got it. I finally just got them to send it to my email so I can print it.
Right.
But, he's, been on it for a long time. I mean, he's got pancreatitis. And they didn't think that he would live this long, but he's still kicking. He's only 44.
Gotcha. So real quick, the payee, I mean, who is the payee in all this? Is it a family?
A friend of his.
Okay, well, not a good friend. All right, so it's really more the payee's duty to go ahead and stay on some of those details as well as him, because if he has a payee, that means he's not mentally capable of handling his finances. So I would go ahead and request basically that they do a reinstatement. So here's the first thing I would do. I would contact a local SSA field office and ask for a manager that's in charge, and I'm assuming he's on SSI, correct?
Yes.
I'd ask for a manager that's in charge and request basically for them to do a status update for reinstatement of benefits without doing a full initial application. And the reason for that is, basically, he might have violated one of the amount of time rules. He might, have been found disabled so long ago that they want to do a renewal. But here's the problem. If they kick him off and he's got to refile, he's refiling under the new rules. He is again refiling under the new rules. So what that means is that at this point, it's just one of those situations where all these new changes, the 1.0s, the 12.0s, etc., he's going to have a much harder time being found disabled. So that's kind of the bottom line here is that
even with it not being his fault, it was no fault of his that the payee person wouldn't do it. You think that the payee person would be responsible?
Well, yeah, but still, ultimately, if they screw up, it's not up to, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing, guys. So anyways, but here's what I would say, and I've got something in the chat that I have to deal with too, but here's what I would say. The point is, bottom line, that he might be able to get a manager to go ahead and allow him to just do an expedited review to get put back on it. Because if not, he's got a real problem because then he's not going to be protected by the medical improvement standard rule, which means that if they did a CDR, he'd only have to show that he hadn't improved, as opposed to now with the new initial filing, it's a whole new game,
Oh, God. You're kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So, indeed. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on it for a long time. He's got mental problems on top of it. And then with his pancreatitis, it's almost, 75% calcified, if not more by now.
Gotcha.
And then he just went to the hospital with COVID and pneumonia, and they didn't think he was going to make it. So
well,
I told him I would be his payee, and I'm his mom. But if we have to do it all over again, I'm just afraid, he's not going to be able to make his doctor's appointment, get his medicines, or, anything.
I totally hear you. Yeah, he should definitely opt in to somebody who's going to watch essentially what's going on with the overall program details and kind of make sure that he's on track, because this was a major F up for the payee not to notify him that they were going to pull his benefits. And the payee is sitting there pretty, because at the same time, they're thinking that it's not their problem, not their deal. So that's an issue. But he might be able to go ahead and say that, the payee might have some liability here. And I've never really thought about it, but the payee might have some liability without notifying the claimant as to communications from the SSA. So I would contact the local field office, see if you can get a manager, explain the situation, and see if they can do a reinstatement as opposed to a full initial filing. Because I'm telling you, the laws have gotten way tougher. And how long has he been on disability benefits?
About 10 years.
Yeah. So he is pre-2017 when they changed the evidence rules, 2019 when they changed the SGA rules, 2021 when they changed the musculoskeletal rules. You got to do whatever you can to get him back onto the benefits with the reinstatement. Yeah.
Well, that's what we'll do.
Perfect. Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thanks, Walter. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Okay, excellent, guys. I'm going to try calling back somebody else real quick, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's see real quick. Okay, I'll take this one next. Let me just call you guys back, because the phone program gets overloaded easily. Unfortunately, it's just not a good program, and it just keeps flipping through things. I've had a lot of issues, and there's no immediate fix for them. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Knott. Remember to use your fake name throughout this process, and please let me know, would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you? Hello? Okay. All right. So weird thing is, maybe they can hear me, maybe they can't. I don't know. But let me see. All right, hold on, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to text somebody else a special number. So if you've been waiting for me to call you back, I'm going to go through the callers list right now, and then basically we'll go from there. I'm going to text you a special number shortly. Just give me 1 sec. I have been having a really tough time with this phone app, and for it to do this to me today is just absolutely horrific. But let's see what I can do to get through the whole thing real quick. Okay. Let's see what's going on. And I'm literally just staring at a spinning wheel. So guys, I hate to do this, and now the program's frozen again. I hate to do this, but we may have to end it early tonight, because I just can't get this Nextiva app to basically work. And I also want to deal with the other issue in the chat, which I'm really not happy with. But then we'll go into that. Let me see if I can get this to work real quick. And then Sweetie's, of course, over here trying to get my attention. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just call these people from the other phone line. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I may be able to fix this real quick. All right. So if you guys see another phone number coming in, that's probably me calling you. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to call you from this. Let me see if I can get a hold of this person. It's going to be from a 908 phone number. Howdy, good sir. Attorney Walter Knott. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. You are on speakerphone. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to go ahead and run hearing questions with you?
Just a specific question.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm on SSDI, and my wife is on SSI. Mm-hmm. Now, she's 66, and excuse me, she's 66, and she works part-time. My question is, it's probably a simple one, but is that they take taxes out of her for Social Security and for Medicare. Meanwhile, they take that money out of her Social Security check for Social Security, Medicare. She's almost paying herself. Is that wrong, right?
Wait, I'm confused. All right, which one's on SSI? Which one's on SSDI?
Okay, my wife is on SSI.
All right, so the wife is on SSI, and you're on.
Okay. Go ahead.
And you're on SSDI?
Yes.
All right, so okay, husband is on SSDI. Gotcha. And she's currently working, correct?
Well, she's working, but she's on Social Security. She's 66 years old, but she only works part-time. And we had a session, and I just was wondering, when she gets paid, they take Social Security out of it, and they take Medicare out of her paycheck. Meanwhile, when she gets her Social Security check, they take out for the Medicare. So it's almost like she's paying herself, and the government has to pay less.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So here's kind of the thing with that. I'm not totally certain that she's on SSI. She may be on retirement if she's 66.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So that's the big change here. So since she's on retirement, you want to know, like, how does what do they take money thing work? How does that whole work with her retirement? Against base. Okay, so give me a fact pattern. What did she earn? What did they try to take away? Walk me through it.
Okay. She gets paid every 2 weeks, and it's $400 for her part-time work.
Okay.
Now, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. When she gets her paycheck, they take money out for Social Security, and they take money out for Medicare. But when she gets her Social Security check, they take money out of her Social Security check for Medicare. Yeah.
They're supposed to do that. She pays for it from that. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Social Security, she has to pay into Social Security too. So in reality, she's possibly paying $300-400 a month for Medicare, and the $700, the $500 and some she gets, they take, say, $200 a month out of her paycheck. So in reality, government's only giving her minus Medicare is only giving her like $250-300 a month.
So basically, these things that they're taking money for are eating up most of her benefits.
Right.
Okay. So
I don't understand that. I mean, it's like the government's coming in and, they're double dipping, so to say.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that kind of surprises most people, especially with the whole Medicare situation. Like their expectations that when they retire, they get to have Medicare, and Medicare is automatically paid for, but it's not. You have to basically opt into it. You have to basically go ahead and pay a monthly amount, and that depends on, did you get A, did you get B, did you get C, did you get D, etc. of all those options. What I would do if I were you is I'd call the local field office and ask them for an accounting letter, and then basically check to see what things they're pulling from her account. Those sound pretty standard to me, but at the same time, it's one of those things where, you know what I mean? I don't know her exact situation as to what they're pulling for taxes, what they're pulling for benefits, etc. She's 66, so she's probably reached her full retirement at this point. Yeah, she's not into the whole, making quarters of coverage element anymore. But I would do this: contact the SSA, have them do an accounting letter where they show specifically what they're pulling and why. And then you can always shoot that to me in an email, and we can always take a look at it during another live session. But it sounds pretty similar. It just sounds like she's not getting much money in general, which is why it's such a problem.
Yeah, well, it just seems like, she works, and they're taking money out of there for Social Security and Medicare, and then she's got to pay Medicare for Medicaid, and it was confusing, and I said, well, I've been listening to you, Walter, for a long time, and I appreciate everything you do, brother, and for all the community out there. You do an excellent job. We need more people like you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your time, and I appreciate it. I won't take it all up. I'll do what you say, and we'll just take it from there.
Excellent, good sir. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You as well. Okay, guys, so I'm going to try calling back somebody else using the Nextiva phone system. If I can get it to work, I'll use it. If not, we'll use the same system we were just using, which is me forwarding a different number to them to go ahead and use outside of that usual system. So let me see real quick. Actually, let's see. Let's try this real quick. Actually, we're just going to do the phone call real quick from this system. Hold on. Okay. Let me see if this is correct, and then we should be good to go. Okay, I'm going to hit this, and now we are calling the next person. You guys know how this works. It rings, we pick up, we run the thing, and then we go from there. All right, let's see what we got. That's the third ring. Let's see if we can get through. 5 rings, then it pops off. Howdy, Madame. Attorney Walter Knott. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to go ahead and basically run hearing questions with you?
Oh, you called me.
Howdy.
Oh, hi. A specific question, actually.
Sure.
My name, it sounds like a phony name, so I'm just going to use it. Jane Smith. I think I know the answer, but I think it might be an exception. I went on SSI in 2006. I'm 54 now.
Okay, gotcha.
And I originally went on for severe anxiety disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And my psychiatrist put it on the letter. Now, back then, everything was totally different than the way it is now, from what I hear. Because I help a lot of people. I'm not an attorney. I'm nothing like you. You are a wonderful person, by the way.
Thank you.
You could, actually be, you're, not only an attorney, but you're, you're just an incredible person.
Thank you.
Anyway, when I went on, it was I had an attorney from the welfare office,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't. My psychiatrist at the time put on that I had severe anxiety disorder with panic attacks, and he put down that I couldn't work for the rest of my life because of it. And he took, I was denied the first time, which was the way they always did it, apparently. And then somehow I had an attorney from the welfare office, and then I went in front of a court television-wise, via telewise, and then I got on SSI. And at the time, I was raising kids by myself, and I busted my butt from the age of 15 until right before I got married, and my company I worked for Dun & Bradstreet, was a major company in PA, and they relocated to a different state, and I took the package instead of relocating.
Okay.
And so I had all the hours, but by the time I got on SSI, I didn't have the hours right before I worked. So, but when I had anxiety, it wasn't just like I had anxiety. It was like I got frozen. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked through the anxiety really hard with therapy and self-help and all that. It took many years. But 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a bad heart condition. And then 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome, which is a rare disease.
Yeah.
There's no cure to it except to manage the pain, which basically took me from being a 15-mile-a-day walker down to I can barely make it to my mailbox and back walking. So my question basically is, if I would go to sign up for disability now, and I have done a lot of research. I'd love to learn. I have 2 associate degrees, and, I worked for the airlines and this and that, but I can't, being on SSI, you could supplement your income. I can't do anything. But when I call Social Security or try to get, $7.94 ain't shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it's not. And I have Medicaid, but out of you figure $8,000 a year. Last year I paid out of pocket almost $1,500 on medication because half the stuff I have to take isn't covered by my insurance. And my question is, can I go back and get reevaluated? But the only thing is, I don't have the work hours to get on the SSD. But I have those, there's some rare diseases that qualify.
Yeah, cows. Yeah.
And I was looking up some of them because I went on your website and you have a lot of good links on there. And I do a lot of research because I have nothing else to do and I love to learn. And when I was first diagnosed with this RSV is the nickname. It's called they also call it the suicide disease. People actually kill themselves to get rid of the pain because it's so debilitating. And the first time I went to a neurologist, she told me people come in there and beg her to amputate their leg or their limb because it's just excruciating pain and it's very hard to deal with. And a couple of years before that, I had compartment syndrome, and I had a fasciotomy in the same leg, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, but and these things happen to me out of the blue for no reason, but the thing is, I also have a loop recorder in my chest because at any given moment in time, my heart at home just stops beating for anywhere from 3 to 12 seconds. I literally die.
Gotcha.
I would love to work. I hate being on disability. I really do. People are like, oh, so you're so lucky you get to stay home or do nuts. I don't like it. I want to work.
Sure.
But if I would go and try to work any kind of job, I couldn't do it because of the pain. And because I'm on oxycodone and oxycodone extended release and then oxycodone every 4 hours, and that doesn't even take care of the pain. Maybe about 75% it takes the edge off, and it's a progressive disease. It actually has already progressed to the other leg. My foot goes numb. I get up out of the bed and I just don't know that my foot is numb sometimes, and I just crash to the floor. I've suffered 5 concussions over the last year and a half. So and it comes, it shows sometimes, and I have to I feel like I have to constantly tell people I'm not stupid. I was on 4.0 GPA in college, and and those concussions have affected me mentally big time, and so I have all these new disabilities from when the original reason I went on disability, and I was gonna go off, and then all this other stuff happened, and the doctors wouldn't let me work even if I wanted to. But when I called to ask about that, they're like, you don't have enough work hours. But when I was married, I wasn't allowed. Yeah, I wasn't as tough as I am now. I wasn't so-called allowed to work. I should consider myself fortunate. Like you were saying earlier, I watch a lot of your videos. Nowadays, mothers can't stay home. I was a lucky one. I could stay home and take care of my kids, but he left when my son was 8 months and my daughter was 4. So, I was a stay-at-home mom, and then I raised my kids by myself when he left. And but then I went back to work when they were in school at the airlines because I have a degree, associates in travel and tourism. But I didn't have enough work hours right before there. So is there any exception? Like I heard, like if you're married for 10 years, I can collect off of his what you call it, when he reaches, see, this is what happens from the concussions. I apologize. I know what I want to say and I can't get it out, and it makes me feel stupid, and I guarantee you I'm not stupid. But when you're married for 10 years and you're on disability, you can collect off of it when he reaches that age, which isn't for, he's only 57, I think now. So that's a long while. Or unless he croaks, which, I don't wish that upon him,
Mm-hmm.
But, but there's no exception to get on SSD to get more money, even though I have those different diseases now. I guess that's my question. I also talk too much too, sorry.
All right, so I just want to go ahead and try to kind of skim things down a little bit to understand more of what's going on. You're not currently, so what was your current age again?
54.
Okay, so you're not currently on disability benefits in any way. You were working, and then you recently had to stop working?
I was working. I worked from age 15 up until I was 25, and then I got married, and it was weird. Like right before I got married, the company I worked for, and I took the severance package, and also because my ex-husband didn't want me working, he wanted me to be a stay-at-home housewife mother type thing, and I actually got pregnant on my honeymoon. I was told I couldn't have kids, so when I got pregnant, so I stayed home and raised my kids, and I also went to college.
Okay. So real quick, so you haven't worked in a really long time. So SSDI is not on the table. SSI is the only option. And basically at this point, you're looking to potentially file for SSI, and you're wondering what kind of pitfalls you have to watch out.
I have SSI.
Oh, you have SSI. Okay.
Yeah, I've been on it since 2006.
Okay.
But and I'm getting all these calls about Medicare, but I'm being told I can't get Medicare until I'm like old, and but see, what's killing me is these extra costs for out-of-pocket expenses for prescriptions that I definitely have to be on for pain, and but it's like there's no way around it, right? Like there's no trick that I'm missing, or
so the question, is how do you get medication costs taken care of? And I'm assuming because you're on SSI, you're also getting Medicaid at the moment. Yeah, and I'm assuming Medicaid is not paying for the medications in a helpful way, correct?
Not all of it, no.
Okay.
Because they only pay, I guess, because the big opiate thing, people ruin it for everybody else that really needs it, and that's the only way with this disease that you can only control the pain, and that's it. And so it's a painful thing. I mean, you can't. You can't walk.
So since you're 54 and your husband's either passed away, disabled, or opted into retirement benefits, he's become eligible, you can potentially get into be able to tap into his retirement-based benefits, and then use those to see what Medicare options are available to you. You might be able to get a higher. Yeah.
He's not disabled or anything. He has his own business, actually.
How old is he?
He's 57.
Yeah. So if he's in his own business, hasn't passed away, is not disabled, and has not become eligible for disability benefits, you can't tap into his retirement benefit options, even though you've been married to him for over 10 years. What you're going to have to do is go and find a medication coverage insurance. There are places that sell just insurance for medications, and basically you can buy into that as your option to supplement the Medicaid that you're already receiving under your Title 16 SSI benefits.
Okay. And pay for that was $784 a month, along with everything else.
Well, and that's the thing is, so did you get divorced from your current, or from your husband, or what happened there?
Yeah, he left.
Okay.
He cheated and left. Thing. But I heard that if you were married for at least 10 years, then once he hits retirement, I could collect off of his benefits, even though we're divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah, so you can, just don't get married again to somebody else, because then you reset the clock, and then
Yeah. I mean, he was remarried though, but he's divorced again.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
No. I mean, I was much better off.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker too. I mean, he is cheating the IRS so badly, and I was I mean, he literally is a millionaire. I mean, like to the T. Like he owns the town, pretty much 3/4 of the town we're from.
Wow.
And his business is all under the table. And I didn't know that while we were married, but when we were going through the divorce, I found out so much stuff, but I didn't do anything about it because I was all wishy-washy. And I just been told by so many people just to report them, but that's not going to help me out.
No, that's going to hurt you in the long run. Yeah, I mean, as an attorney, I have to tell you to do the legal thing, but you obviously are going to do whatever you're going to do, because I don't know who you are or what the deal is, but
Right.
you're going to do whatever you're going to do. So, but all right. Well, Madame, any additional questions I can answer for you while I've got you on the phone?
No. But there's no because so even though you have a lifelong, because I know there's special health conditions that if you have a lifelong health condition, doesn't that help? Not help. I don't want to say help you, because it's horrible to have, but doesn't that give you a leg up as in getting SSD? Or it doesn't matter, you have to have those work hours.
Well, you're not going to have enough quarters of coverage. So there's two elements for SSDI benefits. And one is you have to have enough core coverage, and the other one is you have to have enough quarters of coverage recently, earned. And you have to have 20 quarters of coverage within the past 10 years, and you haven't worked within the past 10 years. So that's the major problem. Now, with that said, and I'm going to tell you a little secret here. If they pass one of the rules for, the Supplemental Security Income Act, where you can get $416 a month of earned income that doesn't count, right? You can go ahead and work a very basic job and earn $416 per month. And what you can do then is every single month, you keep adding them up. At the end of the year, you'll get a total of 3 quarters of coverage. So I don't know how many you'd need for your age or what the calculations currently are, but the bottom line is under the SSI Supplemental Security Restoration Act, you could potentially get enough quarters of coverage by working within that minimum. That's one of the little secret side steps nobody's talking about. But as somebody who deals with this stuff all the time, you could do that. Now, there's another thing you could do on top of that. You can only get a total of 4 quarters of coverage per year, and you can get 3 quarters of coverage out of the Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act, basically by working it and not having it count against you as $416 per month that you're allowed to have, that you're allowed to earn. So what you could do is you could potentially save your moment where it's most advantageous to enter into a ticket to work program, so that you can get each year 1 more quarter of coverage, and then work even more on top of that to keep your earnings. That way you get more earnings, you get your extra 4th quarter of coverage per year, and that way you can earn enough quarters of coverage within basically that time period. And if you need 20 quarters of coverage within the past 10 years, then that means 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5 years, which means, bottom line, that you would need 5 years of earning the maximum quarters of coverage.
To get on SSD.
Correct.
So 5 years.
Yeah, but see, you got another issue here too, which is that even if you get on SSDI benefits, right, you got a Medicaid cost problem, which is that, you know, instead of having the free Medicaid and adding some other insurance, which you're gonna have to pay for, if you go on SSDI benefits and you go on to Medicare, you're still gonna have to pay for Medicare. So it's like, you know, you're not gonna have much more. You'll go from $794 to like $800 and change. So the point is like, yeah, it's not like your situation. Like at-home moms were effed. I mean, effed by the system in a horrible, horrible way. I was in the NASI.org, which is basically a nonprofit for disability, just in social insurance. And they were talking about this. And one of the things that they were bringing up over and over is that, you know, obviously women who lived a lifestyle of what was accepted as a lifestyle back in the day, because now you need two incomes. You need a wife to earn and a husband to earn and to afford anything. But back in the day, one income was enough. You lived life with that. But now that you need it through SSI, SSDI, retirement benefits, unfortunately, not paying into the system really, really hurts you.
Right. So. And then to live to a single mom raising two kids, and then he didn't pay a cent for 3 years. I was, oh my gosh. And then to have to raise them by myself and try to figure out his income that was off the books. It was a real trip. That just broke my nerves. I think that's what caused me anxiety big time. But I still made it. You know, I almost literally died 3 times in my life, and I'm still here. So I'm thankful for what I have. Now, the thing with SSI going up, because I missed the beginning of your video tonight. Sure. Is it going up, or is it? Because I'm so sick of hearing about stupid. Excuse me. I'm not a politician person. I really am not. But I do follow like what's going on as far as money wise. I have to, you know, I have to make my bills, you know, and I have made it so far. And you spoke about having a pet. You can't have a pet. Well, I have an emotional support pet, you know, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me, except she had to go to the vet the other month, and it was a $600 bill, unexpected. And I was like, what? You know, and it's hard to save. It's impossible. Right. But I raised 2 very good kids because my kids live like across. I live in Pennsylvania. They live in Colorado and Seattle, Washington. But as soon as they heard, they sent me money. You know, and of course I paid them back the following month. But I was like, wow, I raised some good kids. Sure, absolutely, yeah. But anyway, but. So yes, I do have a dog on $7.94 a month, and she loves me to death, and I couldn't do without her. It's amazing, you know. And I think it's great that you have your dog on your show. It's awesome. Yeah. So are they raising it, or are they not raising it? He keeps dangling this carrot, and I just feel like snacking it right out of everybody's hand. And I know it's just not him and all this Democrat, Republican. I just don't want to follow it because it's so sickening to me. And that's no offense to anybody. It's just my own personal thing. So what's happening right now is that we're all sitting back, not expecting them to raise SSI or SSDI benefits. But, and the whole time, you know, Blind to Billionaire, LA Late, all those groups were promoting the idea that it's coming tomorrow, next week, next month, this, that, you know, and they would all promote some other aspect of it. And it got me furious because I was just like, these guys are promoting information which has no valid, you know, potential of being passed. With that said, due to the new changes that are going on, there is now a valid potential for them to increase SSI benefits. It didn't exist until recently over the past month. And what's happening is they are trying to promote and put the Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act, portions of it at least, into the $3.5 trillion bill through the reconciliation option, which does not require anybody on the Republican side to be able to vote, which means that the Democrats are going to use that as a means to get 8 million people on SSI to hurrah going into the 2022 voting season. So that is this is probably going to be their golden carrot that they give to 8 million people on SSI to get them to vote Democrat.
So yes, the stars are starting to align with that in mind. But the whole 200 extra per month, the whole 2,000 extra, the whole 1,000 extra, none of that stuff is for sure. None of that stuff is likely. However, remember, March was the first stimulus, December the final stimulus under Trump, March first stimulus, and then December is coming up for the potential final stimulus from Biden. There will probably be another stimulus payment because Biden is going to do everything he can to set up 2022 in a positive way for the Democrats.
Right. Because you said about going from 794 to 1,000 something, so that most likely or good possibility.
We're going to know more once it starts to move through what's essentially the committees. And I'm going to be doing videos. Actually, the script stuff is, and I don't really make scripts, but the script stuff, meaning the articles, are right next to me right now. I'm going to be going through the different committees that these bills are going through right now to explain what's happening. And the main clog on a lot of this stuff is, okay, if we pass this, how much is it going to cost and where's the money going to come from? And so the bottom line is this, at the end of the day, it's tricky. It's tough for one of those situations to figure out, okay, do we have enough money and do we have enough money continuously going forward? And the truth is that it doesn't really cost that much to give people an SSI the fair amount that they were promised in 1972 when Nixon passed this whole thing for supplemental security income. And what that means is that it's about time that they actually raise the benefits for people who are at that extreme poverty level. But if they do that, they have a bigger problem then. If they do that, the SSDI people are going to be super epically pissed because
they're not going to get raised, are they?
Well, no, because they can't get a raise by changing the law through a reconciliation package, which means that nobody's going to be passing one of those because the Democrats need the Republicans, and anything the Democrats pass right now that's a benefit or bonus to the SSDI or retirement people, all the glory goes to the Democrats, which means the Republicans are not going to support it. That's politics. So an SSI raise is going to create a lot of pissed off SSDI people. And there's 8.2 million SSDI people, 8 million SSI people, and 62 million retirement people.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the whole thing is just so sad because you have these people on disability. I didn't ask for any of these disabilities, I kept such good care of myself, literally. I mean, and then you have people out there abusing their bodies and they're just fine. And it's just so, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. And like you said, like who can live on this? I was literally working 7 days a week, 10-hour days, since I was 15 until I got married.
Sure.
And I loved it. It just, and then boom, one day you just can't do it. And it's no fault of your own. Although there's some people out there that do take advantage of the system,
It's just true.
But thank you very much for calling me back. I won't waste any of your time. I just think you're an incredible person. And like you said, I saw some videos out there saying, oh, yeah, you're going to get this and you're going to get that. And then I turn on your channel and you're like, you're just downright straight and honest. And I really appreciate that. You do a great job.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you work for the people you work for and you help the people that you help, it's awesome. It really is. I appreciate your work so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it. If you have any additional questions, don't be afraid to reach out. We'll catch up. And I'll catch you a bit later. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
Thank you. You also.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
Stay safe.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I think what was really important from that phone call is kind of an understanding a couple of things, which is that, medical treatment insurance and medication insurance are two different things, and they're becoming more and more of two different things as time goes on. Medication is far too expensive for a lot of people and just keeps getting worse and worse. And every time they innovate a new drug from Big Pharma, the price skyrockets. And none of these are cures. they're always created with the idea of essentially having the person do weekly or monthly upkeep, which raises the price way up high, which makes it almost impossible for Medicare to be able to handle the cost, which is why we're starting to see senators and House reps over the past 5 to 6 years having these meetings, bringing Big Pharma in to explain why their medication costs $1 million a year for one single person. All right, guys, I want to take a moment real quick. We're going to keep the show rolling. There is somebody who I want to go ahead and bring onto the show. I think she's incredibly important. I got through off a little bit, but I think we need to go right back. This is somebody back in the day, and I can't, talk too much because of details there. But Leon, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. All the donations, I use them to buy dog treats, and that's actually they're right over there right now, sleeping on the couch because they had too much to eat. They had cheese sticks and they had those little Sun and Fun or whatever those treats are. I forget what they're called. They're in the orange bag. But I want to call somebody again. Leanne, thank you so much. Guys, if you could thank Leon, that she did an amazing thing there, which really helps me go ahead and afford things for my dogs, which keep me sane through everything because I work until 2 a.m. every night. And I don't know if you can tell, but my face is obviously showing it. But I want to call this person real quick. She's an incredibly important person to me. She just wrote a book, and I just want to bring her onto the show real quick to talk about what she does and kind of go into detail about the things that she's been up to. I recently saw her. She's running around doing things with the homeless community like I am. I would really like to get her on the phone, though. This is, it's got a sticker on it, so let me take the sticker off real quick. This is her new book right here. And I want to go ahead and get her on the show real quick so that you guys can go ahead and get to know who she is and what she does for people in the Central Florida area. Howdy, madam. It's Attorney Walter Knott. I just wanted to give you a quick moment. We're going to go live right now with speakerphone. And excellent. So I wanted to go ahead and would you give us an introduction to what you do, what your ministry does, how you help people, and then also tell me about the book.
Okay, well, hi, my name is Joanne Renucci, and I wrote this book in 2000, about 2 years ago. I was homeless. When the Twin Towers went down, I became homeless, and I remained homeless for 15 years. And out of a lot of people that I lived with in the woods, they passed away, and an organization called the Hope Team reached out, and they got me into permanent housing, and I was able to get the help I needed, and I went to a rehab. And in that rehab, there was a support group every Monday, a church group, and I found God, and I decided I wanted to live. I wanted to live, and I wanted to give myself a chance. Other people was giving me that hope, but I finally found it on my own, and I just wanted to sustain that, So when I got out of rehab, I went back to the woods where I lived, and in the woods, I found people that I used to even live with, and I told them that there's hope, and then I know the way out. So I formed a ministry called Angel Blessings Homeless Ministries, and I've been doing this for 2 years. And in these 2 years, we've been making relationships with people in the woods, reaching out to them and showing them that there is a light. I compare it to like a plane accident where a plane would crash in the Alps, but the plane crash is really here in our own backyards. And these people are lost. Just need somebody to reach out, and show them. And I use an example because it's very rare for somebody to come out of homelessness and addiction alive and achieve the things that they always hoped to have to achieved,
So tell me this, with the ministry, how do you help people in Central Florida? What are some of the things that you do to kind of outreach where other programs might be doing something, but it's different or not enough?
Well, in the beginning, the whole team would go out on foot. That's how they found me and the people I lived with out there. But then when permanent housing came,
it was more of a desk job. They stopped going out as much, and they were hoping the people would come to them. So I just stepped into the shoes of where they started out from, going into the woods. So and people in the woods know other people, and they know other camps. It's word of mouth. So we just build our ministry on knowing where everybody is, and then forming the relationships and getting the trust.
So, and I go way back to the days of the two Nancys. I saw Nancy literally yesterday, one of them. So, I guess what I would say is this. Can you tell me, when you go into the woods, how do you help people? How do you talk with them? How do you interact with their situation?
Well, when we first started back 2 years ago, we went in with a sandwich, a banana, and water. But what happened was we just started talking with them, getting to know them, getting to know their birthdays, bringing cakes out and presents out for their birthdays, just bringing them to church, and just forming a relationship, a bond with them, of giving them our phone numbers. They could call us. They knew there was life on the other side. And with that, we were able to show them that they would have to also make strides to want to live another life, the life that they had before all this happened. And we make them remember, and we help them get through whatever tragedy got them out there in the first place. So we offer support, counseling, friendship, communication, and then we offer resources. And then we drive them. We drive them to detoxes. We drive them to rehabs. And then we visit them in rehabs. We just don't leave them. And then when they are finished with that, then they join our support group, and then we even want them to work for Angel Blessings Ministries, and then reach out, and like a complete circle.
So let me ask you this, and I see a lot of people that I get onto disability benefits, and my job is to get people the check every month and the health insurance for the rest of their life. And I tell them, and I tell everybody, and I tell people in these programs that are, caseworkers, people that own ministries, I tell them, you're step 2. You're the ones that take over at that point and make sure that the next good things happen. So I see a lot of people who get the benefits and they go even deeper into, abusive things. How were you a success? Yeah.
Okay. Because I know a lot of people don't like to talk about God, but He is the key. Once you find a relationship with God, once you invite Him into your heart, He just changes everything around. And so I just don't get people into housing like the whole team was doing, because they were bringing their addictions in there. They did that with me, and I had a couple of overdoses while I was there, because I brought my addictions in with me. So what I realized was they have to go into a detox and a rehab like I did, and hopefully establish a relationship with God while they're in there, and just determined that they don't want to live that way. They're giving themselves a break and learning the tools and the resources while they're in the rehab, and they hopefully want to break those addictions before they move into permanent housing and get those checks that they get from Social Security. Because when I got my check from Social Security, I was already rehabilitated and established a relationship with God. So with that, when I got my back pay, I put everything into forming this nonprofit ministry. And so, yeah, and God's blessing it because I'm doing the right things with it. And so I just want to see people succeed with their finances when they get them, and do the right things, and reestablish relationships with their families, with their children, because it's all possible. The hurt doesn't have to stay, and the pain doesn't have to stay. The regrets don't have to stay anymore,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, help me out with this. Going forward, what do you feel are going to be the structural changes, modifications, updates that you'll be doing with your ministry to take it into the future to work with people? What are the changes that we're going to be seeing coming up?
Okay, there's going to be connections. There's so many resources out there, but they're all scattered. So I'm learning all the resources that are out there, making connections and making friends. So when I have somebody who needs help, I know which direction to point them, because it's not one shoe fits all. So I'm learning. I have a lot of connections right now, and I'm building on top of that. So when somebody comes to me, I know where to say, okay, this is a place where you'll flourish, where you'll grow, where you'll blossom. I'll have that capability, and I already do, because I send them different places, and in the long run, it all comes back to when they reach to where they need to be, we all stay friends in constant contact all the time. So the support group just keeps growing and growing, and we have a monthly meeting at Carolyn Tapp's house to where we get together once a month. That's what we do before the pandemic, but we will do it again, and we just stay in constant contact with each other. We build the family that we lost or we never will restore. We just add to the family that we're already going to even establish back. We just, we just hold on to one another, and you get through things now in life when, instead of just giving up or wanting to, stay in that addiction, you don't have to anymore, because of all the love and compassion that, like with the Hope Team and how they gave it to me, with Nancy, you just are grateful. You're always grateful. It's a whole mindset.
If you ever need any legal help writing, like writing to go ahead and seek grants, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you, not only just review, but kind of kickstart and get the first couple of paragraphs rolling. I'm very, very pleased to hear what you're doing, because I've been working in this industry, and specifically Central Florida region, for a long time now, and I've seen the on the boots, on the ground, boots on the ground kind of work that was happening, and I've seen a significant decline in that. And to hear that you're kind of picking up the slack and going into that realm is very hard, warming of my heart, because I don't know if I don't know if you've noticed, I'm sure you have, but the forests that were there on East Colonial are all getting, repurposed into storage centers and CVS's. Not that there's anything wrong with those businesses, but there's no homeless that can live in these woods anymore,
Well, when I see all my friends who passed away that I lived with in the woods, that's when I knew I had to make a stand, because there's too many good people out there just dying and overdosing for no reason, when they could have a good life. And I know they can, because I did. And trust me, after everything I've been through, and I can have a good life, I know they can, and I will not give up on them.
Now, I want to ask you one tough question. You don't have to answer it. It's totally fine. I want to ask you a real toughie, because I think it's incredibly important, because we don't always get people on the show with your knowledge-based experience, and it's important that I ask it. Homeless people, let's split that up into male and female. Specifically for women, being homeless is way harder. Can you tell me, what should women do, especially to become empowered to make the right choices to get out of that negative situation?
They have to find a lot of strength within themselves, and reach out to, there's a lot of organizations there, again, that I know of, that they can reach out to women's groups, so the women have to just find inner strength, and Christ and church, and there's a lot of resources out there for women. And I could always put together those resources in a matter of like a half an hour, because I have a booklet of all the resources for different things.
Excellent. Well, Madame, you have a wonderful, wonderful night. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm going to go ahead and continue to promote this book, if that's okay with you, and the services you do with the live shows as we continue forward. And I would like for you to go ahead and continue. If you have any updates, let me know. We'll get you back on the show to get you as much coverage as we can.
You could also put on my website too. It's angelblessingshomeless.com.
Excellent.
And you can see all the videos of us going to the woods and talking with these people, and feedings, and it's beautiful.
Excellent. Well, sounds good. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. We'll get that up with the website, and we'll catch up later,
Okay. Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, Madame. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. So there's certain things that I can't talk about with my history working with this individual, but I just want to say this is an incredibly important person, and she is picking up where a lot of the smaller organizations that became corporate entities that grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and became more of like your classic desk-oriented, facilities. She's picking up where they moved out of that situation, and I think that's incredible because the foundation of helping people, it usually comes best from people who are in that situation. And I know a lot of people argue against me that, they got their degree, they know their thing, they know their therapy, they know how to do, and I get that. And you do. And I get the academia aspect of it. You went through your, scholastic thing, got your degree. I get it. But when you have somebody who was helped by that system to then go and take over what was moved out of by that system and have the knowledge background of being in that situation, it's much better. It's way better. It's like talking to somebody about what it's like being in war. If you've never been in war, you wouldn't get it. It's like talking about somebody being homeless. If you were never homeless, you wouldn't get it. That's why this person right here is incredibly important. And I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on it correctly, but I will put their information up on the way up in the bioinformation and things like that. If you are in the Central Florida area, please, please, please reach out to her. She will be able to help you out. All right, guys, it's 10:04 p.m. Have an absolutely wonderful night. I hope all is well, and I will catch you a little bit later. I want to thank the two people specifically who made donations. Leanne has been with us for a very, very, very long time. Sandra Bryant has been with us for a while as well. But here's the thing. Leanne, I always look to see when she posts comments, because almost every video she'll put up like a little 5 stars or this is great or something like that. And that is important to me because she was with us before I had like 300 subscribers. She was with us way back. This channel has existed for like 8 years, and only within this year did it become relevant for a lot of people. So I just want to thank Leanne, especially Sandra Bryant, another person that's been with us for a really, 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 really long time. And I really appreciate that. These are people who support me to continue to push forward and do these videos. I know that there's other channels you can watch. I suggest you watch them all. Learn as much as you can. I suggest a lot of people they want you to, get out there, learn as much as you can, read as much as you can. If you come across a law that you don't understand, send me a thing to make a video. Somebody sends something about the bird rule and the reconciliation rule. I'll do a video on it. I didn't think to do a video on that, but obviously that's important. I just don't think of it. So if there's something you want me to cover that's important, absolutely. You guys have an absolutely, absolutely wonderful night. I was pleased to see Cheyenne pop in. I haven't talked with her for a while. I hope she's doing very, 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 very well. We will go ahead and, with this channel, I'll continue to promote videos that show you guys the truth. And when it comes to, the other channels, I can't control what they do, but I'm just hoping that I add a little bit of validity as to what likely will happen. When you drag a carrot in front of an impoverished person's eyes, it's like somebody in the desert that sees water, and then you literally creating a mirage for them. That to me is hyper unethical. It's hyper immoral. That's why I was doing a bunch of videos debunking what those other channels were doing to explain to you what's actually going on. I personally believe the Supplemental Security Income Restoration Act is now more likely than ever to be passed. I do not believe the Social Security 2100 Act is anywhere near being likely to pass. And that's because of the Republican versus Democrat scenario. So I just want to be very straightforward with you guys. I think the news that I create is still worthy, even though it's not as exciting. But at the end of the day, I hope we all learn something, and I hope we all do a little bit better every single day, because it's getting tougher in America. I remember the days where you had big fields and cool trucks and driving down country roads and things like that. I grew up on a farm. It's not like that as much anymore, and I think that's tough and it's sad. And anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. I'll catch you later. Thank you so much. Bye bye.